Reduce that thing. Okay.
Yo. Hey.
Yeah. So with the
Happy.
test,
How
bros,
you doing, my bro?
I'm very well.
Good morning.
I'm very well.
Oh, wake up of tea, darling.
I'm a big cup of tea.
You need to be yeah.
Mama
You
T,
need to
Mama
have
T is
your
Mama
you need
T
to have
is live.
your cup of tea on the side. You know.
Mama
Yeah.
T.
Mama. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Mama T is on the line.
yeah, she is.
That's good. Thank you.
Welcome, guys. So we are testing. We'll go live in about 3 minutes. So
Yeah.
this is just like to test. So you guys, as
So
much as you can, follow through and
we're testing our
let's have
microphone.
let's just have a conversation around what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
All
So
right.
how have you been?
I'm very well. We are on the lockdown.
Yeah, I think
uh,
you can. I can see your beard. You can see my beard.
yeah, we can't
I've
go to the
been,
salon.
I've been
We can't
home
go to the
now.
salon.
Yeah, I've been home about. It's going to 3 weeks now. So I've been on a lockdown for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Regarding my profession, I'm a barber, and we deal with a lot of clients, deal with a lot of people, different kind of people from all part of the world. So
yeah,
so it's really affected us. We are just part of the industry that will shut down
yeah,
because of containing and not allowing the spread of the COVID-19 virus.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, it's of course that's actually how to even spread the virus, the lockdown thing. Allowing people know that you have got to stay home.
you have to,
Um, you have to stay home, and
yeah.
if for any reason, and before the lockdown, of course, we were told to wash our hands regularly,
But you should
sanitize
wash your
our.
hands anyway. So
But that's how you
on a
should be on a regular. It's just
regular basis,
unfortunate that when issues like this now come up, they will now start teaching us what we already
what
know is
know
supposed to
what to
be.
do. And there's something
So
we are going to
it's
talk about
okay.
that I want people to know, and so we're going to talk about some things about how Nigerian government should support our people and
Okay.
maintain the social distancing, and even that word itself. We need to deliberate about that word, self distancing. What do they call it? Social distancing. So I
Yeah.
don't think that word is for an underdeveloped country. It's not meant. You see, they copied that word from Europe. They took
Yeah.
it to Africa. Now you check how the people in Europe, how they've managed to develop their environment, how they've put their housing in place, how they've
Yeah.
done their sensor, how they've done their layout and their houses. But in Africa, most of the African countries are not really developed yet to that extent. So that word social distancing can't affect and can't even take any importance in Nigeria. So I've been watching different kind of news. I watch different blogs. I see different YouTube channels. I see a lot of people talking about social distancing in Nigeria, which is not really going to work. Okay, do you want us to start officially or
It's 12. We can start
itself
officially.
anyway? Okay.
So welcome everyone. I can see Olarewaju. I can see Big Pond. Welcome, guys. I can see Mama T already joined us earlier. And Omaka, welcome, guys. Welcome. We just want to have a conversation around what's going on, and of course, the effect, the impact, and our responsibility as a people to avoid the spread of the virus. And I'm sure that at the end of the day, we'll learn a thing or two and see how we can move forward. I have with me the founder and the CEO of King's Place, and also the founder of King Ogunremi Foundation, Mr. King Ogunremi. Welcome, that Naija foodie. You're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon,
Good afternoon,
Mr.
guys.
Kati.
From Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome. So, Bros, how has it been for those of you in the UK? How has it been in terms of this whole spread of I know he was there. He was in China. From China, he got into Europe before he started coming to Africa. So, how has it been for you guys? How have you guys been managing the situation since the whole
I'm
virus?
sorry. I just want to get some things. Yes, I just want to get because I'm in my office now. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes.
Welcome,
Regarding your question, yes,
yeah.
we have been trying to contain it. We've been managing it. There's a lot of conspiracy theories regarding
A lot of
regarding the COVID-19, engaging 5G, the end of the world is come, and the old economy, the new world order. We've been having different feelings.
Yeah.
But can you hear me?
Clearly.
Okay. So, but what I personally see and I researched and I discovered is that this is a war. This is a bio war coming. This is the third world war happening already. But people might not understand it. People might not believe it. But it's coming to pass now. There was this business opportunity within China and America, right? So there's this 5G connection, the fifth generation of telecoms coming.
Yeah.
If you remember vividly, or I don't know, maybe if you are following it, if you remember when Huawei, do you know a company called Huawei?
Yeah.
A company called Huawei in America, in China, they have their company in America. Huawei developed the 5G technology, right? So along the line, this is a multi-billion-dollar investment, yes. But anybody that controls 5G controls the whole world security, right? So there've been problem with the company, the Chinese multinational company, telecoms, right, against the American government, which is the presidency. So if they allow China and the company Huawei to control the 5G network, that means they're going to be a threat to the national security of the world. So that means they can access data, they can access different kind of files. So Americans' security are threatened by this move. The thing they can do is to just find a way to disagree with the company, indirectly talking to China's government, because Huawei is a Chinese company, right? But the Chinese government owns Huawei. Do you understand? So this is a war of technology, right? So Americans feel threatening that, oh, this is going to be is going to be a problem for the national security. China is going to take over the world. Okay, Big Pond said they can hear us properly now. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, welcome for coming, Big Pond. Yeah, I can see you. So as I was saying, so there's a big issue within this company, and any company that takes over that 5G communication, this is a business worth over half a $1 trillion to be added to your GDP if you win the contract to run the 5G, right? So this disagreement has been going on since last year in America and China. Now, guess what Donald Trump did? Donald Trump up to now close up all the white company in America, telling them to move out of the of the country, just a way to block them from achieving the aims. So this problem has been going on. Now with the problem of the 5G now the 5G is already there. They've tested 5G already. It can work. But who is going to control 5G communication? Who is going to access all the files? Who is going to keep the data? That is the third world war between China and America. Now, guess what? You know, China have tried to manipulate and win over all African countries. If you can see all the development in Africa now, you see Chinese companies everywhere in Africa.
Everywhere.
But the Europeans are not really happy about it, right? I will take you back to Jonathan's regime, Goodluck Jonathan's regime. Remember when he was trying to go for the second term?
Yeah.
Then he was invited over to America by Barack Obama. You remember quite well.
Yeah.
Barack Obama invited Goodluck Jonathan to America. Now they were now introducing him to signing the LGBT rights in Nigeria, where he refuses, right? So because of the politics going on the ground and all that stuff, they try to frustrate his government by boycotting the business arrangements within Nigeria and America. So they stopped buying fuel from us. America stopped buying crude oil from us. When you check that time, the crude oil value dropped to $35 per barrel. That was Goodluck Jonathan's second term. He was going to go for the second term. So they boycotted the deal. They stopped buying crude from Nigeria. Though they buy from the other guys, the people that do bunkering and all that, they are still buying from us indirectly anyway. So, but they stopped buying from federal government. So Nigerian economy went down. So people now believe Goodluck Jonathan's government is bad. Obasanjo went all over the world talking about Goodluck Jonathan's government that is the most corrupt government in Nigerian history. Okay, now I'm trying to bring that to how America sabotage and condemn and try to ruin economy of countries that don't, you know, when you don't submit,
align with their
you don't
own
align
plan.
with them, you don't submit to their plan. Now, Goodluck Jonathan went to China to sign a bilateral trade deal with Nigeria in particular. That was why you see Chinese government coming to Nigeria to do a lot of things, infrastructures for us. Goodluck Jonathan did not go to America. He didn't go to Europe. He didn't come to UK. So the G8, if you see the G8 countries, that's the world power. They now came together and boycotted Nigeria just to see that Goodluck Jonathan's government is going to be faced up. So that is how America is now dealing with China now. Because of this 5G problem, who's going to rule the world? Who's going to take over the economy of the world? America don't want China to do that because China have already won Africa. They've won some of the Caribbean countries as well. So they are investing in all African countries, all developing countries, all third world countries. So America is not happy about it. Do you understand? So there's a way America wants to now stop China from connecting to the other countries, the third world countries, Nigeria and all other Caribbeans, underdeveloping countries. If you are underdeveloped, you are not going anywhere. These guys have to control you. So now, look at what happened. Linked to the 5G now. So now, Trump ordered, he gave an executive order for why? To leave America, right? To close down in America. Now, they close all their businesses. Now, there's this war going on now about the virus. In Wuhan, right? They said it started in Wuhan, in China. This whole virus started in Wuhan. So they started infecting people with viruses. And this is a biochemical weapon that we all know, but There are a lot of conspiracy theorists everywhere now.
Lot.
So you have to
A
be
lot.
very careful. You have to be very
Yeah.
careful about the news you hear and the information you get. You understand? So, but you have to be aware. You have to be alert. You have to be careful of what you do right now. So now, imagine them starting the war. Now, Chinese people now infected the whole world with it. If I'm not making sense, you can check America now, the state called Texas. They're now suing China for the pandemic. They are suing them over trillions of dollars for infecting the state. So why would America now start taking China to court? So that means the virus started from China. That could be one of their own game plan just to infect. If they are not going to control 3G, America is not going to control 3G, then the whole world is going to be in trouble. I sent this information last year in September about the pandemic coming to the world, but nobody was paying attention to it. That this is going to be about war. This is a third world war already going on. But people think it is just, they said it's 5G. I don't even want to talk about that one. I don't even talk about the.
The truth is, because of all of those theories, I've had all kinds of things. I've read all kinds of things. I've even seen men of God debates on different sides. They are on the two sides of divide. Some are saying, okay, this is the Antichrist. Some are saying, and this is just technology. People talk about the pandemic that has happened like in the past and how the people were able to overcome those things. So too many theories, too many. It's just for me, like the other time we spoke, I told you that it is better that people just be aware. If you're not sure about a thing, don't say. Just study. Open your mind, be flexible to learning. And if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, and you feel that maybe because your pastors are saying that, it is a time for you to also go to God directly and ask God, what is going on? Because we all have that access to Him to know that, okay, if these things are going this way now, God, what are you saying on this matter? Okay. He might not tell you like immediately, but over time, he will definitely speak to us. So, but for me, basically, what I want us to just focus on is, let's look at the impact of this whole thing. We have talked about how it's going to shut down a lot of economy, and how
it has already.
It has, yeah, because a lot of things are not going on at the moment. People are. Well, in Nigeria, I know Nigerians are very stubborn. The lockdown. People are still moving about. People are. You are talking about social distancing the other time and how it is not for Africans, because reality is, people are not really social distancing anything here in Nigeria, and people are still going out in group to exercise. No doubt, there's nothing wrong with exercising. We understand. I do it. I work out. But since the lockdown, it's not like, okay, just walk around your neighborhood. Not like go far like you want to go before. What do we do as a people? What do you tell us to do as a people? Aside from the normal thing, washing your hands, sanitizing, and all of those things, how do you think we can effectively stop the spread of this virus?
Yes, thank you, Kachi. So, like I was saying to you last week, I told you I sent a message to our executive governor of Lagos State, in Our Excellency, Jide Sanwo-Olu, right?
Okay.
So the problem of Nigeria, generally, let's not even start from our state. Let's just start from our state. This is how you can make effect, right? Now, Lagos State itself is not planned at all. Yeah? So that word, social distancing, is not for some part of Lagos. So when you look at the underdeveloped part of Lagos, the mainland, is not, social distancing is not the word for them. It's not the right word for them in those areas, like where we are from Itire, from Okoko, from Ijesha. You look at the planning. You look at the planning. The word social distancing can work out in Europe, because Europe is an organized area.
Setting. Yeah.
You understand? They've planned They're planning the housing. Everything is being planned. I've been at home over 3 weeks now, almost 3 weeks now. I've been at home. I'm self-sufficient. Do you understand? Because I've got water in my house, I got electric in my house, I got gas in my house, I got satellite in my house, I got telephone, I got internet. I can connect to the world in a position. Like now, I'm here now. If I tell you I've not been outside, all through yesterday I was in 24 hours yesterday, I was indoors. I never even stepped out of my door because we're in an advanced country. Yeah, we're in a civilized country. That is why social distancing can work out for us. But it's not for people in Nigeria. You know, particularly people living in the slum area, underdeveloped area, very poor area in Nigeria. Now, I sent a message to governor that this is an opportunity for you and your government to take Lagos State censor again. You use this opportunity of the lockdown to get the number of people that lives around you. Because there's no way you can cater for the people you don't know their numbers.
Meaning we have a data collection problem. We know that.
You don't have a database. Now, I sent him a message. I don't know, maybe they read it or not. But you know, in Nigeria, they are always selective. Everything in Nigeria is all about politics. But here, this is not issue of being a politician. It's just a common sense. I was helping my son doing his assignment yesterday. I gave him an answer. The boy told me, Daddy, that's not the right answer. They was okay. Let us accept the answer because they put them online. They have online learning. The children are at home. We have online learning, and I follow them up on their laptop. They give them an account. Do you know their school sign up an account for them so that they can log into the school database, so they can do their assignments and their teacher is there. Once you finish your assignment, when you send it to your teacher, you send him an email. My son is 9 years old. He's got an email address already. He's sending messages to his teacher, all his teacher in classes, his friends. Do you understand? So because we have a system that works for us. We have electric. There's electric constant. There's electric. Now back to what we were trying to say about social distancing in local area. Yep. I sent the governor a message to try and use this opportunity of COVID-19 to get the data of Lagosians, right? We have 56 local governments in Lagos. We have 20 main local governments, and we have 36 LCDA, right? So this is an opportunity. So now Lagos State is being run by APC government. So they are a winning party that runs directly. So now you can easily use a draconic approach to get these numbers. Open 56 local data centers, just like the way they are doing all this. What's it called? Centers for the COVID-19 patients now. Yeah. Why can't you start developing data center at the same time? Getting collection of these people. We have 56 local governments in Lagos. Get a 56 data center. Tell all the local government chairman, their councillors, to start working. Now, I want you to give me the numbers of people in a particular local government within this week. Do you understand? Now, if they start doing that exercise, then people are locked down at home. They can get the exact number of the people. That is when you can now start planning for the stimulus, whatever they said they are doing in Nigeria, in Lagos.
We'll talk about that.
Do you understand? So, for example, we have 100 widows. We have their data. We know where they live and all that, right? Yeah. That is the reason why we can plan for them. Yeah. And it makes it effective because we have the data already. So without this data, how are you going to provide stimulus relief for your people. That is the reason why the social distancing cannot work in Lagos, because it can work in some parts, the new developed area, the Lekki, the Aja, not all Lekki area, not all Aja area. There are some poor areas in Aja at the center.
Sure.
When you go to Shangotedo, Igbo Efon, and all those areas, Bugije, you still have very rural area in Aja area.
Yeah.
But you will see the new development coming in that area. Those are the people. When you have an estate of 200 residents, you can easily plan for those people. That is why you see all those new residents in Nigeria, all those new private estates and all that. They can exercise social distancing for themselves, because I'm sure you live in an estate.
Yeah.
You know how many people that are in your estate, don't you? Even if you don't know the actual amount of people,
it can be,
but by the blocks of land, you can calculate and say, okay, let us use a random number, 4 in a family.
Yeah.
Then you use that 4 in a family to work out any stimulus. But look, we don't even know the amount of people in Lagos. We have over 20 million people in Lagos. The first stimulus food for them is to give for 200,000. Now look at the ratio. Just 200,000. I was following the news. It's just 200,000. How can 200,000 food be okay for just a local government? In Itire is about over 500,000 people.
Over.
Now you're not bringing 200,000 people for your first batch. How many people are going to get, even in Itire alone? Now we have not even been to the other local government. So if the government can first of all, that's the first thing to do to start. I know it's not going to be easy, but all this funding, all these donations they've been getting from Dangote, from Otedola, from all that. Let them start building data center. At the same time, with the COVID-19, what are they calling those places they are building? I don't understand.
Isolation centers.
I don't understand why Nigeria is building isolation centers when we have more hospitals in Lagos.
The thing is, we don't have hospitals actually. We don't have, we have few hospitals that are very expensive.
You don't have a general hospital.
We have those general. No, we do have general hospitals. We have a general hospital in Surulere. We have in Bagada. We have in Ikorodu.
How many?
But
how many general hospitals do you have?
I can't put a figure to it.
But you don't have. But you have millions of private hospitals. So why can't?
And some of them are actually roadside hospitals, because some of those hospitals are not even equipped.
So if you want to contain COVID-19 in Lagos, you have to liaise the Ministry of Health. You have a budget, right? Now a relief budget or fund should be spent to all the registered clinics, hospitals in the local government. So those areas should be isolation centers. Now if anyone is sick, they just take them straight to the so-called roadside mechanic you talked about. Do you understand it? So that is how you can contain it. In Itire alone, you will have over 100 hospitals. Though they may have 10 beds, 5 beds, 6 beds, right? But if the government can inject money into them for this relief period, they will look after people around those areas. They can contain it in the local government. Do you understand it? So your general hospital doesn't really have enough space. So government should put money in health care more than building isolation centers?
One of those isolation centers in Onikon, it was actually is a private sector project. I don't think the government in itself has built like an isolation center. I think it's
what the Lagos, I saw Lagos State Isolation Center.
The one in Onikon was GTB that got that Guaranty Trust Bank was the one that built that, as their way of support, because at the point in time, people were calling out on this private sector, banks and all of these things that, you feel that they have money to do these things. They should all come out and see how they can support the government. Now we know the government.
Now, the people you want to support, the people you want to support, do you know their numbers? You don't. So we have to go back to the drawing board. That's why I said this is the only avenue Lagos State government has to put things right in terms of census. Get the actual figure of these people. They can easily tell you people that live in just a local government, like people in Lekki, Aja, they can look after themselves. But people in the development area, the LCD areas, I don't think there's social distancing. Social distancing cannot work in Ejigo, where you have face me and face you houses. Do you understand? So social distancing is for the civilized countries that understand that word. You must have provided light, water, internet, then food for each household before you can tell them to distance yourself.
I think, it can work. And when we look at what are the possible things that can work, like for example, you just mentioned the issue of face me and face you, houses that are not like a block of flats and all of that. How do those people really social distance? Because if they are living in a house like that, they're probably sharing bedroom, sharing toilets, sharing the same kitchen. How do you manage such? Do you tell me to lock myself in a house, maybe a room or two? Am I supposed to be cooking? Am I supposed to be bathing inside the house? Am I supposed to be doing all of those things? And so it's a case of
it's a joke.
The government in itself trying to find a way to address that, so that we don't.
We have to now.
What I think is, if for any reason this virus gets to such environment, we are in a bigger mess than what we are currently.
At the moment, you guys are in a warp zone. You understand? These are in a warp zone. Now we need to educate people now. All right, go to. Sorry, that's my son. So now, what I'm trying to say is, we have to start educating people to increase the hygiene level. If you want to be, if you are in Itere, you have to start educating people on how to increase the hygiene level. Stop going out of the area. They need to disinfect the streets. They need to start doing their environmental work every time. It's going to be a collective responsibility now. You understand? There's no way they can distance themselves because it's not even working. You have a face me and face you out. When I come out of my room, I have to face your room. So why is that space distancing? You sneeze in your house. You said it's airborne disease. When you sneeze from your door, you can go into my room.
Absolutely.
So now we have to educate our people to increase their hygiene level, and they have to love each other. They have to be together to combat the COVID-19. That is the only way for people living in the LCD That's the local development area. Because they are not developed, social distancing. Look at the proximity of the houses. It's not well planned. So you are in your flat. You can exercise social distancing. But what about if you don't have water in your flat? What are you going to do? You don't have water. So you have to go out and meet your landlord or your estate, your manager, to get rid of the light. Now you don't have light. So why are you not going to go out? How are you not going to go out?
I think it is a problem, because people are complaining already that the lockdown is affecting them. People need to feed, and people need to buy what to eat, and people who don't even want to buy anything to eat, but they need to sell their markets. And the other day, my wife was showing me a guy who has about 20 bags of cucumber in his farm, and there's a lockdown. How does he sell his cucumber? How does he distribute this thing? Because the markets are shut down. Now, how do we as a people, like personally, if I decide to say I'm maintaining a social distance, I'm not going out, I'm in my house, will the next man do that? Will the next woman do that? Because they need to feed, because they need to go out. And that is where it becomes more dangerous for us as a people to not spread this virus. So if for any reason, and I also think that Nigerians are not taking it very seriously, they think it's one of those things. They think it's Ebola. They think it's whatever it is.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they don't. They are not taking it serious, and why they don't. Because they don't understand it. Number one, they need constant electric to know, to get informed. If they give them electric and everybody's at home, and now they start running it, and the media start running it on the TV, they will understand it. But imagine during lockdown, you don't even have access to electric. It's just like you're in a prison, you are in a cell.
It is a terrible thing, really. And at this point in time, where people are locked down, if there's anything that needs to be provided for people as much as possible, is power. A lot of people who you get creative by that. Even children. Okay, like your son, for example, is having online school, online training, and all of those things. Of course, I know there are some individuals here in Nigeria who decide to now start doing online programs. Now, when I don't have power to power my laptop to join an online program, when I don't have power to charge my phone to join an online course, so how do I benefit from my staying at home? A lot of people will stay at home at the end of the day, will become lazy, you lose creativity, you get back to work, you're trying to struggle to get back. All of these things are factors and effects.
Now, you have to check the graph. If you have a data center, you can collect it, you can see the graph. The government, the media houses should work with Lagos State government. They can have the numbers of people that are mobile, that they have telephone, they have internet. Giving them free credit. Understand? These are the ways you can. Excuse me.
Okay, all right, guys. I'm seeing some of your comments. Okay, we are going to respond to some of these comments.
Yes.
As we
I will try to suggest that maybe we bring. You check. You are the moderator. You check and bring just bring people in and let us share ideas.
Yeah, no problem. We are going to do that.
Do you understand? So, as I was saying, right? There's no. So how are they going to get information? I was reading in your news today that the NC have spent 1 billion naira on text messages. Does that make sense? You only have 200 million people in Nigeria. How are you not spending 1 billion?
Like they send us messages every day. I get messages every day and twice a day. Every day. Every day. Now, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who is a banker, and I was telling him about this. I was saying that, okay, they say we are between 180 and 200 million in Nigeria. And I was saying to him, all these billions of naira that they are collecting, if they decide to pay each family 100,000 naira, it will go round.
See, the problem will still lie. The problem will still lie on
data.
You don't even have a figure of these people.
Now, just look at our analysis. I was saying to him that at least if you have an account, there's something you have.
Yeah.
Called a BVN.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So a BVN, without your BVN, even if you have 3 accounts, you can only have 1 BVN.
Yeah.
So with that 1 BVN, if the government really wants to give the people stimulus packages in terms of funding, it is very much possible. But they will not do it because they know they want to steal money from it. Now, I was discussing with this guy, and he told me, and I was telling him, if the likes of Dangote or Todola, those that give, those guys, because they regard them, there's a term he used in calling them, they are high base customers. So you can easily declare that this account is from Dangote, so we are not sending him money. You can declare that this account is from Dangote, we are not sending him money. So we know the people you're sending money, and it is very, very possible. The other day I was discussing with Godin, because he does programming, and I was telling me, he told me that this thing is about programming. Is a computer thing. Is a command. You tell computer, Access Bank, all the people who register BVN in Access Bank, bam, it will bring out all the accounts. Whichever account you now decide to pay the money into, it's as simple as that. But because people, there are some people, how can you tell me in how many weeks we are home, we have spent 1 billion naira on SMS? Is it not the SMS, bulk SMS that everybody sends? Is it not normal SMS from my phone to any other phone is 4 naira? But bulk SMS is a lot of time are cheaper than that because they are bulk SMS.
Check this out. This is a letter, right? Sent to me by Boris Johnson. Do you understand?
Yeah.
This was a letter sent to me by Boris Johnson. Yeah. Telling me the measures we have in place for the citizen. I'll show you signature. You can confirm it anywhere. That is Boris Johnson's signature. You see that? He was telling me, I am writing you. I am writing you. Do you see that? He was telling me everything that is going on. This is a civilized country. Nigeria is not there. Nigeria is not there yet. We still got 500 years to go. Do you understand? So even the people in power, they've got a very, very, very low mentality. Do you understand? So we have a poor mentality. So there's no way somebody with a poor mentality will be in position of power. He's going to abuse it. He's going to steal the money. It's going to be very, very corrupt. You know why?
Yeah.
Because his mentality is very poor. They only think about tomorrow, and they don't even look at it.
I think more. Let us bring
Olarewaju in.
Yeah.
Let's bring Olarewaju. If he's dead.
Okay, let him call in. Let him be the one to call in. Okay. Let him request to join us. If you can hear us, Olarewaju Omobo, you can request to join us, please, so that we'll have you. I've been seeing your questions since, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Let him call in to join us, if he can. Then I will just accept from here.
Do you understand it? So with the 5G cable and all this conspiracies you hear in Lagos. Now look at it this way. If there's a lockdown, you can ask the IT guy that deals with data and all that. If there is a lockdown, the data usage increases. Do you understand? Are you listening?
I'm with you.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the reason why they have to increase the internet usage. That is why they start digging all those because they are running down. Their database can crash if they don't expand it. So that is why they have to do within that lockdown period. It's an opportunity for the company because people now use data more. Because people are at home, they use more data than ever.
And they actually, I don't know what they are doing to us now, because it's like every little thing you do now, you are spending, the data goes like twice. Like,
you know why?
And I think also Nigerians will take advantage of situations like this.
Oh, of course.
Nigerians take advantage of situation. In the Western world, I'm sure this is the time where people want to sacrifice. I was watching on CNN about a lady who died, a 27-year-old lady who died, because she wanted to attend to people. She was telling her parents there's nobody to cater for them and there's nobody to care for them. So she sacrificed to go. In the process, she got the virus and she died. Yeah. So you could see that people want to go out of their way to do stuff for people. But in Nigeria, I'm not asking you to go out of your way in terms of sacrificing your life for people, but let's not take advantage of situations like this. Now, things will triple. The prices of things will go up like very speedily because people want to make more in times like this. Now, what's the point of making that money? And at the end of the day, some way, somehow, your family member caught the virus or you yourself caught the virus and all of those things. So I think in times like this, not a time for us to make profits. I know before you shut down your salon, I know you were posting that people, especially the health workers, should come to the salon to get free haircut and all of those things. That is your own way of wanting to contribute to society. For us, as a foundation, we reached out to our widows. We reached out to them in terms of giving them packages and all that, because we're not thinking about ourselves now, we are thinking about the people. Now, people in Nigeria, instead of them to think about these things, they want to make profit. Why do we have to be like that? It is sad and it is heartbreaking for me, really, to know that, okay, the other day I wanted to get something and the price, you get bags of pure water, like 5 bags of pure water. Normally you get it for 500 naira. But because there is, what's it called? Sachet water. So because there is a lockdown, the price has gone up. The woman actually wanted to sell for me 1 bag for 200. I'm like, how? Who does that? Like, it is just 2 days into the lockdown, and why do you have to do that?
Because there's no price control, there's no quality control.
There's no price control. So for her, she was feeling like these guys are not going to come again, so let me make all the money now. But shame on her, because at the end of the day, we still saw that these guys are still, trying to still distribute some of the waters they have left in there, before we were able to stock up. It's crazy, and I don't know how God is going to help us. And a lot of times, there are things that God has given man the power to do, but we just take advantage of other people just because we want to enrich us. And I think that is also the problem with the government. We saw the Treasury House and God with fire yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was amazed, like, how? Because people have started asking them questions. All this money you're collecting, what have you been able to do? Come and give us record, come and give us. And the next thing, the house, how does these things happen in this country? How? I was discussing with my wife. I said, if this period does not humble a man, if this whole issue does not humble you, I don't think there's any other thing that can humble you, because even the rich now, their money cannot save them. They can't travel abroad to get that medical care that they want. They can't travel abroad anymore because that place where they travel go, he did there too. So if this period does not humble our leaders to know that they need to invest more in our healthcare facilities, they need to build more hospitals, we need to train more people, to have people who would take responsibility. If our government have not gotten to that point, then we'll have a long way to go. We have a very long way to go in terms of changing the narrative of our country. It's really not. The other thing I wanted us to talk about, like going forward, I don't know how soon this whole thing is going to go, because there's an extension for those of us in Lagos, a strict extension. Right now, they are arresting those who are jogging on the streets. They are arresting those who are working out. Work out in your house. You don't have to be, clustered everywhere and all of those things. Because in Nigeria, our judiciary system is not that strong. If you bring a law, people violate law, because even the person they create the law is also messing the whole up. So how do you now say that? For example, Funke Akindele was arrested the other time, and we saw that even the government, that the people that went to arrest her, the court itself, a lot of people were also. So that social distancing thing we're talking about the other time is still not there. So Nigerians are not taking a whole lot of things very serious. Now, going forward, as a nation, as a people, this whole thing, because it has brought a lot of fear. That's one thing I know for sure. A lot of people are afraid, and out of fear, a lot more people. I'm sure if you do statistics, now a lot more people are praying more now. A lot more people are giving their life to Christ now. I'm sure after they have seen that crowd, Pastor Chris, and all these things he was describing, a lot of people will now live in fear. And for me, I've always said is faith over fear. I don't have to live in fear because of things like this. If you're a Bible scholar, you know that even the scriptures talked about times like this. It's just for you as a Christian. There's no better time to live, for me personally, to say that you are seeing this thing happening and you're seeing that it is going to be over in no time. Going forward, do you see, how will you describe in terms of all of these things? Because tomorrow we are going to still make joke about times like this. We are still going to make joke about situations like this, all of these things. How do we move forward from here as a people and as a nation, so that after this whole pandemic thing, what are the things we feel that individually we can do, collectively we can do, and what do you think the government itself can do to change a whole lot of things as in regards to us as a nation?
Yeah, I would say first of all, right, we need to, regarding the fear, you said, yeah, people should stop giving the different kind of stories. I'm going to address I'm going to say straight to the religious leaders that things they don't really understand, they should just leave it. They don't even talk about it. You understand? We don't really need to scare our people. If truly they are religious leaders and they are Christians, they are God sent, they should get their members prepared in the first place. But the word of God has said it before, that following Christ is not an easy task. You have to go through tribulation and all that. Do you understand? So now people are scared because they rely on the men of God. Do you see that? Now the man of God can't save them. You get it? That's why they are scared. I think being the pastors have done their job properly by equipping the members and get them approved of the word of God, they will understand this fear. That though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
fear no evil.
You fear no evil. Because is with you. But these people are just religious people. They only go to church for party and Instagram show and all that. They forgot the word. They don't understand it. Most of the pastors in Nigeria are taking advantage because those people lack knowledge. They're just getting their money from them. But I can't help them. We can't help them. We only have to tell them the truth. Their leaders should tell them the truth about because you can imagine the same 5G their pastors are talking about is the same 5G people are watching him. So does that make sense? Not telling people is the 5G that is causing the death, is a way of manipulating the world, is a way of getting you to get you the 666. How does that make sense? My son was telling me, but daddy, why is Nigerian pastor talking about 5G? Are they not supposed to be preaching? That means even the pastor itself is scared.
All of those, well, I don't want to talk about it, but it's all good. It's all good. All of those drafts. I was telling my wife that he's a technology-driven man.
If you go to resort to death as a Christian, are you not supposed to be glad that you are going to meet your Savior? So, but they're scared because of all the money in the bank. Like you and I, we have played our part. God has seen our heart. You don't need to be scared. If anything happens, you've done your part. Do you understand? You are at liberty. Because if there's no death, there's no resurrection. Something has to kill a man.
I think we have 2 minutes, 3 minutes more because I'm sure. I think the live Instagram live. I think is a 50-minute time they give. I don't know if
so now what I will now say to our people now is, if you live in a local rural area, step up your hygiene level. Be more open to your neighbors in terms of collective hygiene. If you live in a station and facial, have a grand room. You wash the toilet clean don't litter the compound. You wash your hands.
Sure you wash your hands clean every time. Then do a lot of exercises. Don't go out. If they tell you not to go out, Grace did not rescue Noah and the ark. It was the obedience, not the grace of God. You get it? The word of God said, stay at home and practice this exercise. Then you shall be saved. But if you don't follow it, you are now putting God at risk. You are putting God at test. Nobody can test God, especially when He has given you instruction. Do you understand? So I will implore every one of us to stay safe, to be at home, to step up your hygiene, wash your hands every time, don't go out, don't put your hand in your eyes, make sure you wash your hand, and just keep up the hygiene level. And by God's grace, with prayer and supplication, God will now intervene for us. You understand? Because God will not do for us what we can do for ourselves.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. I'm sure we are going to do this again because of our time, and we have like 15 seconds more. We are going to definitely do this again. I'm glad. Thank you for everybody who joined us. We see you guys soon. Thank you. God bless you all.